What's up, everybody? It's your favorite razor blades, favorite nerd, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. That Jigsaw as the roommate. That thing cracks me up. The floor is covered in razor blades. Get Gary. Anyway, this is Nemean or Nemean or whatever it is, and this is their razor claw. And his feet suck, and his head looks ridiculous. We'll just get that out of the way, and then we'll start talking about him. So, let's start with his head. It's well painted. The red in there is painted well. The gray is painted well. The gray, the gold, all of it's painted well. There's 3 layers of paint on this thing. The yellow is just the color of the plastic, and it's on a swivel, which sucks. But it's just that the face sculpt itself doesn't say anything to me about Razor Claw. Doesn't make me think about Razor Claw. Doesn't make me want to represent him as Razor Claw. Just nothing there screams Razor Claw to me. Moving down the figure, the lion's head is pretty cool, and you can articulate the jaw, of course, depending on your sensibilities there. The shoulders get you out to there on the hinge, and then they swivel around on a ratchet, a full 360, so no problems there. Bicep swivel, the yellow is painted fairly well, but could use a second coat on there. But outside of that, the yellow is painted pretty well in this figure. Bicep swivel, soft ratcheted elbow, gets you 90 degrees. Gray and red painted on the forearm looks good, as does the gray on this lion's paw. Waist swivel, which is really loose, not unlike the tornado guy in He-Man. The gold and all that stuff, all the teeth and all that are painted really well, so no issues there. Other arm is identical, no problems as far as articulation. The hip skirts articulate up to allow you to get the full range of motion out of the universal joint, which is ratcheted both out and forward and back, so no issues there. Not a lick of paint on the thighs. You got red paint and gray paint on the knee. The red paint and gold paint here look good, and due to combined mode, you got this weird thigh joint that's on a soft ratchet down. And let me tell you something, we'll talk about that, but that should have definitely been a hard ratchet there. And I think that probably sounds terrible. Yeah, soft ratchet there too. This one stands up a lot better, I believe. But anyway, red plastic, orange plastic, red paint on the orange plastic. This yellow paint looks fantastic. The red paint here looks fantastic as well. And the feet are on ball hinges that just have a hard time supporting his absurd amount of weight, which is very substantial. Like it's just, he wants to topple backward, and it doesn't take a whole lot to make him want to topple forward. It's just not the most secure bot in the world. But he is huge. We'll go ahead and do a size comparison. We'll stand him straight up for the sake of it. There he is next to, nice grab, a teammate. So, right about the bottom of the lion's jaw, here's a classic Seeker. I think it's funnier not showing the whole thing. And here is Silverbolt. So, he is huge, but he doesn't, I'll be honest, like he feels upsized. He really does. Like, he doesn't have like the nuance of a large figure. He feels like a small figure that's been made big. But he definitely has size on him. If that's like if that's a big deal for you, you know, like if you'd sacrifice a lot of things at the expense of size, then you'd be well okay here. I should also mention that he comes with these cannons. They're on a series of hinges and swivels so that you can plug them into the back of the shoulder and kind of have that look if you like it. I think my issue with this is that while it's kind of it's kind of well executed. It is a little bit, it just makes a bot that's already feels a little too bulky, bulkier. So it doesn't really add much. It just more so takes away. And then he has his tail, which is like a pseudo whip, and it's an odd shape, so he doesn't want to hold it, but he will in combine mode. So take these off just to make your life easier. Alright, so this whole piece comes out, and I have dye bomb stuff attached, but we'll talk about that. Flip this around, and then that head goes in, and the Predaking head comes up, and then these bits come down, and that's that. The hands flip inside here. There you go. And then these collapse. Now, this whole piece here, actually, let's get this skirt squared away too. So that spins around there. And then this piece comes down. And then this comes down. This piece pegs into there. You got to make sure these are really collapsed properly. And that secures all of that. And then, let's see here. And then that combiner port comes down. I'm just going to leave it be for the time being. And then this comes up, I believe. That wasn't good. Sorry, Joe. Not sure what's going on here. Let me fiddle with this for a minute. Okay, so I got it. It just took some force, and I was scared to apply that amount of force to it. But here he is in all of his glory. I'm not exactly sure which way the feet are supposed to go. Like I said, I don't have any instructions or anything like that. But I imagine they just kind of tuck back here out of the way. But yeah, he cleans up pretty well. You know, it definitely, all this stuff sits properly in this mode. So, cheers to them for that. But it looks better than it performs, I can tell you that. But we'll get there soon. Right, so let's try to get him into lion mode. Let's take that. Makes me nervous. All right, there we go. And then the head, I think, comes like that. These pieces come up on the side here. And then This tabs into the back of the head, which is a little unwieldy. We're just going to try to do our best. Alright. This piece comes back up. And then, like that. And let's see here. Turn that around. I think that's... I don't know what position these are supposed to be in. Actually, this sliding thing. Okie dokie, so I had a little bit of a technical difficulty there, as you can see, and I went ahead and took the liberty of just finishing it off camera. I just had to flip the hips so that the orange is on the bottom, and then I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I like this lion a lot. It is unwieldy, and we're going to take these off so we can look at it a little bit more closer. But he is cool. He does feel very cool. So articulation wise, head is on this. Now this should theoretically plug into the back of Razor Claw's head, which would greatly hinder articulation. But if you leave it on, you can kind of get some down. You can get this whole like hinge swivel thing going on, which is nice. And then the jaw just gets you a little bit. And the mane articulates as well. Shoulders are the same as the robot, get you all the way out to there, which is nice. And then you still get your bicep swivel, this ankle, and then this ball joint here at the hand or paw. The waist swivel locks together, so that's actually a good thing because this guy is kind of unwieldy. Hips, you get the same universal, out and forward, and then you get the rear knee, and then ankle, and then the ball jointed ankle. So there's tons of articulation here. And then the tail, it doesn't really plug in well. It just kind of fits in that slot, but you know it wants to do that at the drop of a dime. And then it hinges as well, but you can't really utilize the hinge because there's not enough friction where the joint connects. But I do like it aesthetically. Like, it does look like, you know, it looks like it should be taken seriously. It's a little long in the torso, but it's definitely not hateful. It's definitely the best. Much like the other two, it works better in this mode, but it's still far from perfect. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't. This is the one that from MMC I wasn't crazy about either. I'm not sure if I've seen the perfect Razor Claw in lion mode, but this is. It feels good. It feels chunky. It feels dangerous. So I just wanted to show that he can also do the same thing as MMC's Leo Ducks. And size comparison wise, you know, there he is next to the Tantrum. So significantly bigger. But yeah, final thoughts wise, he's a pain to deal with in every mode. Like, nothing feels secure enough except for combine mode, but we'll see the problems with that later. But combine mode is super secure, but the lion mode is not. And then the robot mode is just kind of a mess. Like, he constantly wants to fall. The sliding pieces that they use for like every robot leg in this whole series is the same engineering for the most part. It wants to slide on you. It doesn't stay. It just doesn't feel good. It just doesn't feel secure. It doesn't feel solid. And that's really kind of the issue with this series overall. Much like the others though, the paint is top shelf. The articulation is there. The beast mode definitely looks better than the robot mode. There's just so many other problems, and when it comes down to the price point, it starts becoming very clear that that this set may not be what you want to go with. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.
Good morning, Mr. Skullface. Welcome to our second day of anger management. Very excited.
I gotta be honest, I feel really shortchanged over this whole situation.
Well, I thought we had a wonderful trip.
What, at TFCon?
Yes, we had a wonderful trip, and we got all our stuff ready, and we're ready to dig in. to some of this hostility that you're so frequent having.
You know, that's a part of it. My hostility.
Oh, your mug.
But I gotta tell you, it irritates. You know what irritates me?
Yes.
Mouth noises.
Mouth noises.
I think.
My little Eeyore pin is running out of it. Oh, there it is.
When I was a kid,
Mouth.
Eeyore pin. And see, like, that's another thing. Aren't you supposed to be a professional?
Absolutely.
You got an Eeyore pin.
I know. It's just a tad bit of irony.
I mean, Eeyore's a gloomy. So, it makes sense for me.
I think
you f***ing darkened my day.
He's a little misunderstood. But let's go back to mouth noises.
Yeah. I hate when people slurp their coffee. I hate when people swallow loudly. Well, why is it that everybody I sit next to has an esophagus the size of a crazy straw, where it's got to make the noise of 1,000 horses galloping when something goes down their throat? It's disgusting. It's distasteful. It's obnoxious. There's other people in this world besides you.
And do you ever think that any of the activities that you do might cause the same reaction in others?
I don't do much. What do I do that could possibly annoy someone?
I don't know. I don't know at all. But let's continue.
Good. We do have to bring something up. Your dishonesty.
My dishonesty.
Here.
Okay.
My copay here is $40.
Okay.
Where the regular therapy was $20.
Mm-hmm.
And you referred me to your own self.
Yes.
In a different location.
Well, I referred you to a different source of therapy. And your copay really isn't any of my business. It's between you and your wife's insurance company.
But what I don't understand is why couldn't we just stay on the couch?
Well, we have a facility here that's a little bit, better set up in regards to your treatment.
It's horse is what it is.
Horseshit. Okay, how does that make you feel?
Angry.
That's why we're here.
Like
it's working already.
Like those mouth noises.
Yeah.
And people what else would they do? Kissing.
Mm.
And look, I don't care. Like as far as sexuality goes, metrosexual, homosexual, heterosexual, bisexual, trisexual, transsexual, transgender, don't care.
Don't forget the lumbersexual.
The lumbersexual, I don't care.
Mm.
Just don't kiss your significant other right next to me. Mm. And it's never like a peck. It's always like...
It sounds like you have a lip fetish.
No, it's the opposite. I can't stand it. It drives me up the wall. I can't stand having like that, people that slurp their super cereal. Mm-hmm. Just put the spoon in your mouth, close your mouth around it, and bring the spoon out. I promise you it'll all get in there. There's no need to rush. It's all you're going to be fine. The Fruit Loops are going to make their way perfectly to your gullet. Just close the mouth around the spoon, bring the spoon out, clean as a whistle. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. It's not going to go anywhere.
Okay.
But also, when we were at TFCon, I caught you going through my things.
Is that right?
My personal things.
Well, if you read your intake paperwork, full disclosure, you would know that we check for misusing of some substances. All very professional, Mrs. Skullface.
I gotta be honest. A lot of this hasn't felt very professional as of late.
Well, I did pay for half the gas.
I'll tell you something else that irritated me at TFCon.
Mm-hmm.
We were walking down a hallway, and I smelled the most gnarly fart I've ever smelled in my life.
Okay.
It's like the guy ate a dead fox that morning, letting it digest in a warm belly of acid and Mountain Dew, and over time release this foul stench into the air. I felt like Vincent Price at the end of Thriller.
A funk of 40,000 years.
A funk of 40,000 years.
I got that one.
Everybody's got a fart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you just go outside with it?
Well, maybe you didn't have enough time to.
I got a buddy of mine records his farts.
Really?
He's got this catalog on his phone of different farts.
It sounds like a complete waste of time.
It's funny.
I'm sure.
You gotta lighten up.
Maybe. Since we've gotten back from the trip, is there anything else that you found that has spurred your anger resentment towards your fellow man?
I mean, I'm sure I was at the movie theater recently.
Yes, do tell.
I saw Fantastic Four.
Oh, was it fantastic?
It was anything but. There was a young couple sitting about 3 seats down from me.
Okay,
And they started talking about 2 minutes before the movie started.
okay.
And they
Perfectly acceptable, right?
perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
But they continued talking after the movie had started. And then went on to continue talking for like 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the movie.
Oh, very, very pivotal point of the film.
Obnoxious.
Establishing.
It was the
what's
only
going
good.
on.
It was the only good part of the film.
Oh, okay.
And I got irritated.
Okay, as one should. These are valid feelings in a situation that is, not very polite.
So I went over there
Understandably. Okay. Confrontation.
and I sat down.
Was it a positive confrontation?
It yielded positive results.
Okay.
I sat down next to the guy, and I said, "How you doing?"
And his response?
Fine. Very quiet. He got quiet all of a sudden. He was bringing in the Saints 5 minutes ago. Now he's quiet as a mouse. Fine. I'm fine. Okay. And I told him, I said, "Look, I don't get out much.
Okay.
I got kids. I got a wife. I got to make sure that she makes their lunches the next day and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's stuff I have to stay on top of.
Yes.
I don't get out much. One of the few opportunities I get to get out is for these movies." That's what I told him. And I said, "So I'd appreciate it if you'd stop ruining it for me and shut the f*** up."
Oh, wow. Well, except that last part, let's analyze what happened then. So you had a feeling, you were angry because of somebody's impolite behavior, perfectly justified, and so you politely walked over there in a non-violent, possibly intimidating, but we'll work on that. Let's just go with the good stuff. And you expressed your feelings to him.
Exactly.
And it resulted in, hopefully, him being quiet.
He was quiet.
Oh, look at that. And there was no violence. There was
No violence. Zero.
Aggression. You did not appear back in front of the courts and the
Nope.
judge and, give me a ring and say, "Dr. Francis, Mr. Skullface is not moving in a positive direction."
Yeah, none of
So
that.
you did yourself a favor and you did me a favor. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. This is why anger management works.
So then before I left, I realized I hadn't said hello to his girl.
Okay.
So then I looked at her, she looked at me, and I gave her one of these. And as I gave her one of these, I said, "How you doing?"
Oh,
And then I went back to my
I
seat.
saw a little subtle grin there.
Yeah, because I was hoping maybe she would want to talk a little bit more. Maybe she likes girls. I could give her and my wife into a little "How you doing?" peep show.
I don't know what that means.
That means I'm just gonna watch. Like, I got a pair of binoculars.
I don't know how Mrs. Skullface would felt about that.
Yeah, but it can't be all about her all the time.